Okay, hello my friends and welcome to Jinxie Cat the Movies. I have a slightly different video today. Now, I can't see what I'm currently recording. I'm pretty sure I have everything framed mostly correctly. However, right, I think that's okay. So I think I have everything framed right, but I can't see the camera today. But I'm gonna try to not have too much crap at the start of this video, because I just want this to be as informative as possible. So this video is going to be about how to undent a dented steelbook. Now, let's see if I can get this in the shot. You can see just here that my replacement for my damaged Pulp Fiction steelbook also arrived damaged. However, it did arrive imperfection free, and unlike the other one, it is in the middle of the panel, which is much easier to repair. However, it also looks quite like quite a deep scratch. I just realised I forgot my spoon. Right, so this is going to be an instructional video on how to undent a dented steelbook, and I won't lie, it's not always the easiest of things to do. The hardest part of doing this, by far, I think, is getting the panel off. And sometimes they come off really easily, sometimes they really don't want to. So, what you will need to do this, very, very important, do get yourself a piece of cardboard, make sure that there is nothing even remotely sharp on it whatsoever. That feels fine. Even the tiniest piece of grit or dirt, you can end up damaging the steelbook. I did this recently with my bullet train one when I was repairing that, and I ended up damaging it ever so slightly because it moves around when you're popping the panel off, and I ended up scraping it slightly. It's very, very minor, and it's still better than the actually, no, I'll tell a lie, I ended up keeping the original and having to sell the replacement because the replacement also arrived more damaged. But anyway, so I'm getting off topic here. So how to repair a steelbook. What you need: a piece of cardboard that doesn't have anything gritty underneath it whatsoever, or on top of it even. You need a spoon to get the dent out, and you need something to pop the steelbook panel off its plastic case. Now, I know you can get like plastic tools for like repairing phones and laptops. I don't have one of those. I have a Funky Monkeys membership card that my wife got for my daughter. Any kind of credit card will do, although be warned that whatever you use, if you use some sort of credit card, you should be willing to sacrifice it because it probably will damage it. If you have a specific like a plastic removal tool, that would be better. I don't advise that you use a metal knife because I've never done it, but I suspect quite strongly that it would definitely damage the steelbook. So, how to pop the panel off. Now you can see, if you can see it in the shot, let's just check that you can. Yeah, you should be able to see that fine. You can see that it has all these little clips all the way around the edge, and what you really just want to do, you just need to get one of them off, really. Once you have one of them off, it becomes much, much easier to actually remove the rest. But as I've said, it's not always an easy process, and I have in the past managed to cause more damage to the steelbook than you know, doing nothing, and it's actually ended up being worse. So once you've got a couple out, it becomes a lot easier, and this one was an incredibly easy removal, so that's good. So here, if you can see on the camera lens again, I'll just stand up. Right, so there is the dent, and you should be able to see on the other side, it's round about here. I don't think you can even see. I don't think you can actually I can get it to pick up on camera, but you can see it from the other side. But this, you can very clearly see where the dent is there, especially if I do it in the light. So what I'm going to try to do now is use a spoon and press out the dent. So it is just around about where his bolo tie is. So literally you just use the back of a spoon and you just apply pressure on the other side. And that hasn't really done very much so far, so I'm just going to try that again with a bit more pressure this time. And that has actually decreased the dent a fair bit. I think, yeah, it's just there. And yeah, it's definitely not a perfect process. And as I said at the start of the video, it is quite a deep dent, far deeper than I've ever tried to fix in the past, which is unfortunate, but we will keep trying. You just literally just have to you're literally just pushing it out from the back with a spoon. Now that has helped significantly. So if I show you now in the light again where the dent was, it's significantly reduced now. In fact, it's almost to the point that you can't even see. It's actually pressed out much better than I thought. So it's still just a hint of it there. So I'm going to give it another run over with the spoon, being careful not to you don't want to drag the spoon across it, because that could actually make it worse and could scratch it, which we don't want. But see, it has actually bulged it out ever so slightly, but as you can see, I'm having a very, very difficult time now getting it to show up on camera at all. So it's not a perfect process. However, I'm really, really happy with the results of this. I seem to have managed to almost completely undent it. Now, I didn't want to do this with a brand new £35 steelbook. However, I've been planning to do this for a while now, and I was honestly going to just either buy a cheap steelbook or sacrifice one of my ones that I didn't really care about. Now, putting the steelbook back on is really just as simple as pressing it back on, as you just saw me do in the video. So, like I said, I was going to sacrifice one, but I didn't feel like sacrificing one. I can actually feel this dent now coming the other way, but I can't really see it, if I'm being honest. It's very difficult to see. So, it is done. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, for the third time. I was going to sacrifice one of my own or buy a cheap one and damage it just so I could try to undent it as part of the video. However, when my replacement for my Pulp Fiction arrived also damaged, I figured it'd be a good time to make a video about it. And quite honestly, I didn't know if it was going to work, considering just how deep that dent looked. But you can kind of almost see that it's like bulging out from the other side. I can feel it more than I can see it now. If I run my hand across it, I can almost feel it. But if I gave this to somebody to inspect and didn't tell them it was damaged, I'm not convinced that you would be able to find the damage. And this replacement is now better than the one that I didn't even have to send it back. Xavi did a no return replacement, which is great, because although I ended up with a damaged replacement, I ended up selling it and getting an actual I've got a voucher for it, but I got a £21 voucher for a £35 steelbook. So all in all, I think I ended up quite good, because I took it to CX to sell. Now, it's not the ideal situation. I would rather just have them come undamaged, but it's damaged. And now I have demonstrated to all of you that want to know how to undamage a steelbook, I think I've done quite a good job of explaining this. And yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this tutorial, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, because I'm trying to develop a bit of a brand here for reviewing, not reviewing, for showcasing, and I want to start branching out into other things too. I figured it was a good time to show an example of how to undent a steelbook, and I think I've done that brilliantly. I won't lie, some of this went really, really well, But I think one of the most important things I can tell you is don't ever just do it on a flat table. You'd be surprised how easy it is to just have the tiniest bit of dirt or grit or something on the table that shouldn't be there, and the steelbook it moves around when you're trying to pop off the panel, and it takes almost nothing to damage these things. Like, steelbooks are so incredibly fragile, especially this one being a glossy one. So yeah, important. Use some cardboard and make sure that there's nothing on the cardboard and it's nice and soft, so it won't damage anything. I don't know if there's anything better than a spoon to undent it. If you had like a pestle and mortar, I want to say the mortar is the thing that you hold, but that could be the pestle, and I'm not going to Google it. So whichever one is the thing that you use to actually grind with, I can imagine that working incredibly well. Anything like with a rounded face would be the best thing to use. And obviously it has to be hard. You don't want it to be sharp in any way, or even like have a hard edge, because that would you could potentially end up like making it worse then. And as I said, you need a tool to get it off. Any kind of credit card will do, but as you can see from this one, from the few times I've done it, and I've only had to do it about 5 or 6 times with this card, they will get damaged, so be prepared to sacrifice whatever you use to do it, unless you have a specific tool for popping off like laptop panels or phones, anything like that. And I know that tools do exist. I might even invest in one, because I actually have more than a few damaged steelbooks, and I do kind of want to repair them. And the other thing, I will admit that this was an incredibly good steelbook to pop the panel off. It came off really easily. I've had ones that just refused to come off, and it doesn't matter how careful I was, I ended up causing more damage to the steelbook, although I did manage to then undamage bit of it. But I won't pretend to say that it's an easy process. It's not always easy. This one went really well, and I will say this was probably the best example of undamaging a steelbook that I've ever done. But it definitely doesn't always go this smooth. Sometimes the ideal place to undent a steelbook is anywhere in the middle of the panel. If it's too close to the edge, it's almost impossible. If it is on the edge, as far as I know, it is completely impossible. It works for the front too, obviously. You just have to pop the panel off. And that's about all I have to say about it, guys. It's not good when a steelbook arrives damaged. I hate it. Like, if I'm buying a second-hand steelbook and I've examined it beforehand and I know that it's damaged, that's one thing. Sorry, I've still got a bit of a cold. So yeah, that's like one thing. If I've seen the damage and I think, yeah, okay, that's okay, I will buy this, I know it's damaged. It's not great, because obviously you don't want it to be damaged, but sometimes steelbooks are rare, and if you find a second-hand one, even that's slightly damaged, you know, it can still be a bargain. But if I'm buying a brand new steelbook, especially these £35 ones, I want it to arrive in mint condition. So yeah, I can understand wanting to do it, and I know firsthand that a lot of people they're very hesitant to do this, and I was too. But I hope that this video has I mean, I know there probably are tutorials. In fact, I'm pretty sure I watched one myself, but I've tried to make a video that's as high quality, clear as possible, that I've shown you exactly step by step what you need to do and how to undent the steelbook. I've shown you what not to do, hopefully, or told you what not to do, and I hope that this helps somebody, because I'm a collector. I consider myself a collector, and I collect these things. I want them. I consider them small works of art, and especially in the cases of the rare ones, they are absolutely little works of art for me, and you want them to be in good condition. So I hope that this helps somebody. I really do. So yeah, guys, if you did, if you found this helpful, let me know in the comments, or give me a thumbs up or something. And hopefully may all your steelbooks be undented, guys, and I will catch you at the next video.